asking queries. I really appreciate that. Now, class, today we will be discussing about our temples, and then I'll be sharing with you the activity which you need to do for this unit, and then gradually you will be doing this activity and sharing it with your teachers. And then second unit will begin very soon with you. And there have been a lot of requests to show some very good videos, and especially with the temples. So I'll try in today's time itself. I'll show you one very good video where science and your temples are going to be closely related. And today, at the end of the day, you will realize that our culture, our past has is just not useless. It has a lot of scientific value too. It was just not meant to be written down in the books. And what is the science behind it? What was the logic behind everything? That I'll try to tell you in today's video. But as you know, we are discussing the unit on culture, and we people have been discussing so many different elements of culture. We discussed about dances, we discussed about music, we discussed about the evolution, handicraft in our previous classes. Today we are going to take up the architecture part class, the different architectures we have in our country. As you know, India is a land of temples, and not one temple, but innumerable temples. Thousand years back, man had already started off with the construction of some wonderful temple, and so many of them, right from the shore temple of Mahabalipuram in Tamil Nadu to the Chalukya temples in Badami, that is Karnataka, to your Sun Temple at Puri. These all temples make a place in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The temple architecture has a deep rooted past. And let me just tell you, students, temple doesn't mean that this is a place where your deity is placed and we go down to take blessings and show our devotion. No, it is just not the reason. The basic reason for constructing temples at certain places was because it was considered the places where the temples were constructed were the places where we had the maximum magnetic forces of earth being released. And that particular place center of the temple was called as Moolasthanam. And that is the reason we as devotees go barefooted inside the temple. When we are barefoot, we are actually coming in contact with the direct magnetic forces of the earth, and these magnetic forces are very, very good for our body. Everything, whatever we see in today's time associated with our culture has a history for itself. And you know, the first ever temples were very simple construction, but very soon man began to produce some finer specimens in this temple architecture. You know, you happen to see Akshadam, you happen to see Chhatarpur Mandirs and all that. These are the latest creation of people with the latest technology. But if you really talk about, you know, the ancient past temples which were made, look at the carvings, look at the beauty with which they were made. It was really praiseworthy. It was not even a single machine was used. Every single work was done with the hands. See here, look at the carving, look at the precision, look at the neatness with which it had been made. All the South Indians were the masters in making temples, started off with Pandya, Chola, Cheras. Somewhat in 3rd to 4th century, man had started making some beautiful temples. Today, if you happen to see Kailasnath temple, Brideshwara temple, Kedarnath temple, Abu Simbel temple, you talk about the Sun temples, and I don't know, Dilwara temples, Shore temples, Mahabaleshwar temples. These temples have been made more than 1,000 years back. And look at it, how strong and sturdy these temples stand today. And you know what? The architecture was the thing which actually won the hearts of the people. The entire scenario, the entire scene or the circumstances or the situations, conditions that existed in the empire under which the temple had been made was showcased on the carvings on the walls of the temples at that time. And that was the beauty of the architecture. And the different styles of architecture, if we talk about, there were plenty of reasons: geographical reason, climatic reason, racial, ethnic, linguistic, historical. There were many reasons for having such variety of different styles of architecture, which we happen to find. If you are in Kerala, basically, just let me first tell you, the temples were basically made for three gods: Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and very soon Krishna. And goddess was Durga. And this Lord Vishnu and Shiva were the ones who gave birth to so many multiple forms that today in Hinduism we worship more than 33,000 crores of gods and goddesses, and they have all sort of different names. And so many various places you visit in India because of devotion are actually dedicated to all these forms of Shiv and Vishnu, preferably. And you know what? In South, this Vishnu and your Shiva are known by different names. You happen to be in South, you ought to hear the name Lord Murugan, Lord Ayyappa, Meenakshi Amma. Meenakshi Amma is again Goddess Durga's form. You're in Madurai, you are witnessing one of a marvel of architecture, that is the Meenakshi temple. You have people traveling all over the world to have a visit. The reason being, it's beautiful architecture. Now, here are Indian architecture is basically classified into three forms. One is your Nagara style. Nagara style is found in basically North Indian temples. Vasara is a mixture of North and South Indian, and Dravida is a typical South Indian structure. The basic difference between Nagara and Dravida are the carvings. The carvings in Dravida are going to be very minute, very detailed, very precise. But in Nagara, they're going to be a little broad, and they basically believe in showing less number of figures, but the ones they're showing it in huge size. Right. So this is your temple architecture. The temple, the basic, if you talk about the structure, don't compare it with modern day temple. If you happen to go to a nearby temple in your locality, you happen to go deep inside the temple, you get to touch the feet of the deity, take lessons from him. But this is not the actual way. It was believed that the idol of the god or the goddesses needs to be placed, placed totally separately in a room called Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha means the womb of the temple. Like in a garb, for 9 months, the baby is hidden from the rest of the world. Similarly, the idol of the god and goddesses is supposed to be placed at a very great distance from the devotee. You are in Mathura, you are in Vrindavan, or for that matter, you are in any of the South Indian temples. You cannot even touch the idol. You either need to place yourself on the left hand side or on the right hand side. You cannot see the idol directly. And whatever offerings you need to make, you have to make it only through the priest. They do not allow anyone to go near the idol. And in South India temples, you are going to find all the idols placed in complete dark room. They just have, certain diyas or certain mashals lighting up to brighten up the room. They do not use any other artificial way of lighting up the Garbhagriha. And whatever vision, whatever you can see this thing, whatever glimpse you can have a look at the gods and goddesses is more than enough for you. And everything is made either out of pure gold or pure silver. And every temple of South India is a storehouse of richness. There is so much to see in your country. And you know what? Surprisingly, there's so many mysterious temples in your country. There is one temple called Veerabhadra Temple in Lipakshi in Andhra Pradesh. You know what is the speciality of that temple? That has a hanging pillar. The engineers of today, the civil engineers, they are surprised. How could someone create such a thing? The pillar on which the entire temple is resting, out of that one pillar hangs. It is not touching the ground. And you should go and look in Google and see that beauty of the temple. No one has been able to understand how could people create such thing. Then you have a Vithala temple in Karnataka made under Vijayanagar. The speciality of that temple is there are 7 pillars in a special hall of Vithala temple, and very gently you're going to touch every single pillar. You are going to find 7 musical notes coming out of that. Sare Gama Padhani. Now, this is again an engineering marvel. How could they make such a thing? Out of curiosity, you have people visiting this. Then you have a very famous temple in Rajasthan near Bikaner, which is actually known for rats. There are innumerable rats in that temple. They worship, they're considered to be the ancestors of those people. And you know what? Doctors have not been able to understand, in spite of so many thousands and thousands of rats present, there has never been a complaint of any sort of infection called plague. No disease called plague has ever taken place. And added on, whatever they eat is same thing is consumed by the devotees who go inside that temple. The list is endless about the mysterious temples, and every temple has a history to tell you. Now, here under the Mughal architecture, this was the temple architecture under the Hindus. Then you had a special thing called Mughal architecture. The Mughals were a wonderful dynasty who went and created some marvelous pieces. The Shah Jahan special, mentioned Taj Mahal, as you very well know and heard of Taj Mahal. It's considered that it was made by Shah Jahan in memory of Mumtaz. Let me just tell you one interesting thing here. Almost same in comparison. We can't even say comparison. In competition to Taj Mahal, you have another beautiful temple called Dilwara Temple in Rajasthan. And according to the archaeologists, the marble used in Dilwara temple is much, much better and of finer quality than Taj Mahal. And the biggest thing is, it had been constructed much before Taj Mahal had been constructed. If you are in Dilwara temples, you are not supposed to walk barefooted even in this temple. You're given some special covers which you need to wear and cover your foot. The quality of marble is so very good in Dilwara temples. Then you have this beautiful piece of architecture called Salim Chishti Dargah. This is near Fatehpur Sikri. Anyone who visits this Fatehpur Sikri, for having a look at various architectural marvels created there, you get to see this Dargah, Salim Chishti Dargah there. Another, it is a beautiful piece. And you have obviously Red Fort, which are declared as the final capital of the Mughal. And today we have our Prime Minister on August 15th, addressing the entire nation. Then Humayun's tomb in our Delhi again, another beautiful piece which was actually constructed, and it is believed Humayun has been buried here. Humayun, who had a very troubled life, a very disturbed life, actually, and his entire history is visible in this tomb, Humayun's tomb. And if you happen to be in Humayun's tomb, you're going to find multiple graves of so many other people who were very close to Humayun, and even some people after Humayun's death have been buried here. And you know what? The speciality of Mughal architecture, they never use animal or plant figures here. No living being is as such used. The highlighting part is the floral designing here. Islamic, Persian styles and Indian styles are mixed and used here. From 16th century, you basically found this architecture coming into prominence. Then another marvelous piece, rock cut architecture. Again, a wonder, a mystery. How could these people create something out of one single rock? A huge rock was made, and it was actually made hollow, and inside that these temples were created, which are known as rock cut temples. Your Ajanta and Ellora caves in Aurangabad in Maharashtra. Just have a look at all these pictures. It is inside a rock, and within the temple you have this figure of Buddha, sleeping Buddha, standing Buddha, and the height of these statues even go more than 9 to 10 feet. This is all made inside a cave, inside a one single piece of rock. You can have a look distance from distance. This is how the rock cut cave temples actually appear to be. And due to being such an old piece of architecture, which was made somewhat in 3rd century, these have become very, very old, and over a period of time, the ceiling of this cave has gradually started coming down. Okay, these are one of the most impressive part. It is done, it is actually created out of structure carving of one single solid or natural rock. Now keep wondering what these people were. India has more than 1,500 renowned rocket structures, and they have gained global importance. People from all over the world, they come to witness this architecture. I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about architecture, it is a very small platform and a very less time to discuss about the architecture because I believe there is so much which had been done in your country. Now, I know many of you might be having a look at all these delicious cuisines, and it's already more than 12, so I know might be feeling a little hungry. After you see all this, your hunger is going to increase, and you might have understood what are we going to discuss. We are going to discuss your favorite hobby, that is eating part. And here we have the cuisines coming from all over India, and we're not discussing everything, but the major ones which are really loved by major part of the country. So as you can see, here you have Punjabi food. Here you have makke ki roti, sarson ka saag with lots of butter, and then you have a very favorite thali with lot of all sort of vegetables which are loved by the Punjabis, and that is your gulab jamun, your raita, your paneer, and then you have your paranthas loaded with butter again. And then how can you forget your chola bhatura? Now this is what is our culture. This is what is India. In spite of belonging to different parts of the country, these are certain things which are actually loved by everyone. And here you have your favorite dal makhni and paneer, kadai paneer coming up with some shakes here, with some shakes here. And look at this, look at this. These are the Punjabi cuisines coming from Punjab. This is the speciality here. And Punjabi cuisine is basically known for its buttery flavors and extensive vegetarian and meat dishes. Punjabi dish is incomplete if you don't have butter on it. So sarso da saag and makke di roti being the most important one, which is basically consumed in winter season because it's considered to be a little spicy, a little hot. So आप सर्दियों में खा सकते. You can't eat it every time, right? Okay, tongues inside, and let's see the next one. Now you have Gujaratis coming up. Kencho, have a look here. Look at the thali. Look at the dishes. How beautifully they have changed here. Now look at the collage. You have doklas, you have khandvis, you have malpuas, you have so many things coming up. And you know the best part about the Gujarati, like in Punjab, if it is butter which plays a major role, in Gujarat it's the sweetness. In everything, a little sweetness is added. Sugar and jaggery are used there. That's the flavor of Gujarat. And even here in Delhi, we have a lot of Gujarati cuisines. Your moms might have cooked so many times dokla for you. Dokla is again a specialty. A lot of besan and a lot of sugar is used in these Gujarati, thalis. You have rotli, that is roti, dal, curry, rice, shark. A lot of vegetables and everything. It can be spicy, it can be sweet, but you happen to be in Gujarat, most of the dishes are going to be sweet. So you need to change your taste buds there. South Indian, you have idli, dosa, sambar coming up. Again, you all might have tasted this. This is something very special. South Indian thalis. You have papad and rice and a lot of sambars and a lot of rasams and all that coming up. Okay, control, control. I know it's becoming more and more yummier. Have dosas. It's long time you've seen all such things since we are in lockdown. But I know your mothers might be doing justice to your food part. So now you decide. So here we have South Indian cuisine. When we talk about South Indian cuisines, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana are the main places which consume all this food. A lot of chilies, lot of tamarinds are used here. They don't believe in using much of oil and butter like we, the Punjabis, use that. And hot and spicy, everything is basically rice based. Why rice? Because all these South Indian states are coastal areas. And coastal means a lot of water. Lot of water means lot of rice because rice is one crop which grows in only and only abundance of water. As a result, rice becomes the major dish here. And with rice, you have idli, you have dosa coming up. For making idli and dosa, dal and rice needs to be used together. Okay, now talking about religion part class. If you know, India is a land of religion, multiple religions. Buddhism, as we saw in our facts, 25% of the world follows all the major religions present in our country. Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. These are our major religions, and all of them have originated from our country. And look at the symbols here for all the religions here. This is the diversity. And look at this beautiful poster you find in one of the highways of Ladakh. How they have taken out. Ultimately, whether you are a Hindu, you are a Jaini, you are a Buddhist, you are a Sikh, you are a Muslim background, or you are a Christian. At the end of the day, we all are Indians. We all are one with a lot of diversity. Okay, again, I think many of you might be wondering, it has been months. We've got to see so much of vibrancy and colors. This is India, land of multicultural religions. Yesterday itself, we had one of the most grand festival of our country, Eid al-Fitr. Your Muslim friends might have celebrated. The best thing I've started observing in today's time is so many people, whether Hindus, whether Muslim, we all get together to celebrate every festival, no matter whether it is of our religion or not. I saw so many of us students, Hindu students, celebrating Eid. When it is Christmas time, so many of us get together to have a Christmas tree, and there are Santa Claus coming, distributing sweets and all that. This is what is our country. Nowhere in the world you're going to find any other country having so much of language, having so much of religion, what you have in your country. States and religions have different festivals. All the festivals depend upon the religion. Hindus have Holi, Hindus have Diwali, we celebrate Makar Sankranti, we celebrate so many. There might be so many, even we don't know our names. Then there are harvest festivals also, like again Bihu, Onam, Pongal, Vishu, Vaisakhi. These all are the harvest festivals celebrated when the harvest, when the crop is going to be cut down. Navratri, Diwali, Ganesh Chaturthi, Durga Puja, Holi, Raksha Bandhan, Dussehra, and Ramzan are some of the most important festivals that are celebrated in our country. You can have a look. Ganesh Chaturthi. This is a rage in Maharashtra. Entire Maharashtra gets together to celebrate in Maharashtra and Karnataka. And Holi, as you can see, all over the country, it is celebrated. Okay, class. Now, quickly, first of all, telling you about the activity which you are going to do. Then I'll be discussing something more with you. But my purpose right now is to give you the activity. First, listen to the activity. You all are going to take out A4 size sheet, or if you don't have A4 size sheet, take up any colored sheet for that matter, right? What you're going to do on that color sheet, again, I'm reminding, please, boys, especially the boys, what I'm telling you, do not ignore this activity. The reason being, you are being graded for this activity. As in the initial part of my class, I made it very clear to you people that without marking in the GST, your score in the main subject is of no use. GST is a part of post-scholastic area. GST, your work education and your physical education. Whatever work is being given, do it religiously and judicially, because your grades are going to be first uploaded, and then you're going to have your grades of the other subjects coming up, your scholastic area. And when you get the final mark sheet of the board exam, you can very clearly see mentioning your scholastic and post-scholastic grades. Any one of you who gets an E grade in post-scholastic, you are in trouble. Your scholastic grades are of no use without getting marks here. So please take it very sincerely. Take a colored sheet. I've given very simple activities. Don't come out with these excuses, ma'am, we can't find, we can't do this. This is something very simple, right? Take a simple A4 size sheet or a color sheet. You're going to pick up any one of the reformers. It's not necessary these reformers. These are some which I've mentioned. But if you want, you can take up many more if you have an idea. But these are some reformers who did some wonderful work during the British era. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Vivekanand, Jyotiba Phule. Dayanand Saraswati. Either you want, you can pick up anyone amongst the list I have given here, or you want, you can pick up your own reformer, but that reformer needs to be of the modern era during the time of Britishers. What you are going to do, you're going to write down the universal message and the reforms which were undertaken by these people. Right? You have to just make a list, a proper list of the universal message and the reform acts done by any one of these reformers. Okay, properly. Just don't scribble up some things and give it to your teacher. No, you're not doing that. Or now, if you want, if you don't want to do this project, I'm giving you an option too. And what is that option? That option is make a two-sided brochure. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to take an A4 size sheet, fold it. Once you fold it, that becomes a two-sided brochure. Now, what you're going to do? Again, I'm giving you options out of any of the six here. You can take up performing arts. If you have chosen performing arts, in that also I give you a choice. You can either take up dance or you can take up music. Or for that matter, you can even pick up theater if you want. So anyone, if you don't want arts, you're taking up language and literature. Again, you can choose any one language or literature. I'm giving you a choice in this also. You can take up handicrafts, you can take up painting, architecture, cuisines. Any one element of culture you're going to pick, and you are going to make a brochure on that. And brochure will have the writing and pictures pasted on that. If you have taken a painting, paste two pictures of the different painting and write at least one liner for that. What is it, for where it is originated, and what are the features of this? Are you understanding? So I'm giving you this total discretion to decide what exactly and how you want to handle up this project. But please, the day your class teachers ask this, I want it to be ready. I think all of you will agree with me that this is not a big activity. This is one activity of this unit. As other teachers will keep teaching you, they'll give you very simple activities which you need to maintain in a folder. And the day lockdown comes to an end and the teachers ask for this GST folder, it should be ready with you. And your friends who are not present in the class, please kindly pass on the information. Again, I'm giving you an option. Either go for A4 size sheet, writing a universal message or a reform act, or go for a two-sided brochure on any one element of the Indian culture. Along with that, I want you people, please, this is something very interesting. If you go through the site of Center of Culture Resources and Training, CCRT, you have a proper site for that. If you go through that site, you are going to find a lot of painting, very interesting short films based on a culture, and art, craft, architecture of India. So do visit this site, do have a look, and you will get to see much more things on this site. And another very most important thing of our culture, practice meditation, pranayam, yogasan for better health benefits. Remember, it's India who gave this world yoga, who taught the art of meditation. And believe me, it is really a wonderful thing. It works. It's done in a proper manner. It calms down. It has the power to cool and calm down our senses. And we are in stress, when we are in anxiety, we are really worrying a lot. This is the only way you can cool up yourself. Right, students? So I expect that you are going to do this activity in a rightful way. Now I'm going to show you a video where you're going to see how your temples and signs are related. And then later on, if time permits, I'll discuss something more with you.
India, pristine ground of spirituality, a land with 7,000-year-old history, a land held tight to its ancient traditions, embedded with fruits of its deep-rooted culture, passed on through generations, sentiments intact. Despite having witnessed or belonged to this society with innumerable traditions, we lack the understanding of the logical reason behind several rituals and customs and brand them superstitious and meaningless. shelved away many of these anecdotes passed on by our forefathers with years of increasing westernization, a lot of it because of sheer ignorance. Have we ever wondered why certain things are devised the way they are? Why do we have specifications to every ritual followed? Idol worship is a form of prayer. But what is the reason behind installing these idols in magnificently constructed temples? What is the purpose of temples at all? Temples are constructed in zones where positive vibrations from the earth's magnetic and electric fields can be tapped in abundance. The peak of this energy is felt at the Garbhagraha or the Sanctum Sanctorum where the deity is installed. People are asked to walk barefoot at temples so that the radiation is easily absorbed. Men are advised to visit temples bare-chested as the human hair has the capacity to absorb positive energy. Women are asked to wear gold ornaments when they visit the temples, as gold is one of the best absorbers and radiators of positive energy. This is why many temple vimanas are made of gold too. We walk around the Sanctum Sanctorum to enable a state of equilibrium for the brain by its movement around the source of positivity. These are some of the reasons behind the sense of serenity that fills a person from within whenever they visit a temple, regardless of their belief in God. An unsaid rule from the ancient times is that the temple should be the tallest construction in that particular town or city. We see this rule in prevalence in the Agraharam style of civilization in the rural areas. The reason commonly stated is that God is the supreme and hence the temple must be the tallest. Actual reason behind this practice is the absorbing power of the temple gopuram. The gopuram is usually filled with paddy on the inside, which is an excellent absorbent of shock waves. Wherever lightning hits the village, the rays are diverted to the gopuram and the excess harmful rays are transmitted to the earth. Beneficial cosmic rays from the atmosphere are retained by the paddy and radiated inside the temple. There have been debates regarding conducting abhishekams for stone idols in temples. These age-old granite idols have the tendency to develop cracks on aging. Regular contact with agents such as milk, honey, and oil help in keeping the idol intact, thus preserving these ancient sculptures. Another interesting observation is that the base on which these idols are mounted is made up of a specific alloy of gold, silver, and traces of lead, which have medicinal properties when combined with milk and honey. This is why milk and Panjamridam from the Abhishekam that are distributed are said to have special properties that cure many diseases. Earlier, when the literacy rate in the country was much less than it is now, instilling a fear of God was the only way to put forth scientific ideas and practices involving logical reasoning. We have unfortunately forgotten the essence of such genius measures and brushed them away as superstitious. The Ganesha sitting beneath the peepal tree or the Arasamara Vinayagar is a widely popular deity of worship among women. It is a common belief that women who are unable to conceive will be able to do so if they visit this Vinayagar every day in the early hours of the morning with wet clothes after a shower and walk in circles around the tree. The secret behind the miraculous success of this practice is the peepal tree. This tree is known to give out high amounts of oxygen and very minimal amounts of carbon dioxide through the day. Oxygen is said to be the best cure for hormonal imbalances in the body and naturally brings undernourished organs back to normalcy. Gradually, the hormones in the uterus start functioning routinely, and the woman is able to conceive. Wet clothes help in better absorption of oxygen, thus ensuring maximum benefit of the ritual. The motive behind placing the Pillayar is to convince people to follow it in the name of God, giving them a reason to diligently pursue it. In Indian tradition, crows are given special importance as they are considered ancestors. After the meal for the day is prepared, a portion of every dish is kept outside for the crows to feast on so that the members of the family have the satisfaction of having fed their ancestors. Are they really our ancestors? Or have our forefathers just been spinning yarns? There is an interesting reason behind this age old tradition. Earlier on, when there was no electricity and hence no proper light in the early hours of the morning, people were doubtful of the food they cooked. The crow, as we all know, is a creature that can eat almost anything and that which never refuses food. Interestingly, it can sense the presence of any kind of poison in food. It simply refuses food if it senses poison in it. People from the ancient times happened to use the crow as a tester for food smartly without harming it. When it comes to the food system, Indian cuisine is one of the most balanced regions, including optimum quantities of all nutrients conceived into delicious dishes that are easily digestible. Our ancestors even had appropriate meal timings devised to ensure proper and timely metabolism and digestion for adequate energy to carry out the tasks through the day. As an ancient custom says, the best kind of diet for any human being or living animal in a region is the diet consisting of foods grown in the same area. We have essentially evolved through the years to belong to a tropical climate and be accustomed to the foods and lifestyle offered by this region. With the arrival of foreign cultures and lifestyles, the concept of eating out was brought about with the expansion and trade of foreign cuisines, which sadly are not the best suited diets for the Indian stomach. Most importantly, eating outside food greatly disturbed the timing of meals. We may believe that the only consequences of ill-timed meals are acidity and gastroenteritis, but actually, the human body functions by a system of energy flow between organs. Ancient scriptures of naturopathy and manuscripts of Ayurveda hold references to the organ clock.
வணக்கம். நம்மளோட உணவு மற்றும் வாழ்வியல் முறையில ஆரோக்கியமா வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருந்த நம்ம எந்த இடத்துல அது தடம் மாறி இருந்தோம், தடம் மாறி நம்மளோட ஆரோக்கியத்தை இழந்துட்டோம் பார்க்கும்போது முதல்ல ஆர்கன் கிளாக் வைஸ்னு 12 ஆர்கனுக்கு 24 மணி நேரம் தன்னோட பீக் அவர்ஸ்ல அது வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கும்போது தன் கழிவுகளை அது ஒழுங்கா வெளி நீக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. அந்தந்த நேரத்துல அதோட கழிவுகளை வெளி நீக்க நம்ம இடம் கொடுக்காததன் பேரில் அந்த கழிவுகள் அதிகமாகி டாக்ஸினா மாறி பிளட் கெமிஸ்ட்ரியை கெடுத்து அசிடிட்டிக்கா அல்கலைனா இருந்த உடல் நிலை வந்து அசிடிட்டிக்கா கன்வெர்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு. அசிடிட்டிக்கா கன்வெர்ட் ஆன உடனே உடலால அந்த கழிவுகளை வெளியேற்ற முடியாததுனால உடம்பு தன்னோட ஆட்டோ இம்யூன் சிஸ்டத்தை இழந்து ஆட்டோ இம்யூன் சிஸ்டத்தை இழந்த உடனே தனக்குத்தானே புதுப்பிக்கும் தன்மையில செல்கள் இருந்த நிலையை மாறி இப்ப செல்கள் வந்து இறந்த செல்கள் அதிகமாக ஸ்டோரேஜ் ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. நியூ செல் ஜென்ரேட் ஆகாம தான் நோய்கள் வர ஆரம்பிச்சு. இதுக்காக பாரம்பரிய உணவு முறைகள்ல நம்மளோட கலாச்சாரத்திலும் நம்மளோட வாழ்வியல் முறையிலையும் இப்போ உணவு மற்றும் வாழ்வியல் முறைன்னு வரும்போது காலமும் உணவு முறையும் உழைப்பும் சரியான முறையில இருந்ததுனால அவங்களுக்கு வாழ்க்கையில இந்த நோய் என்ற ஒரு விஷயமே இல்லாம ஆரோக்கியத்தை மட்டுமே நோக்கி பயணம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ 12 ஆர்கனுக்கும் 24 மணி நேரம் டைம் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். அதுல ரொம்ப முக்கியமா சொல்லணும்னா லிவர் தன்னோட கழிவுகளை முழுமையாக வெளிநீக்கி உடம்புல இருக்க மொத்த ரத்தத்தையும் டயாலிசிஸ் பண்ணி தன் கழிவுகளை வெளிநீக்கி பிளட் கெமிஸ்ட்ரியை ஸ்கேன் பண்ண வைக்கிறது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான நேரமானது. சாயந்தரம் 10 மணில இருந்து 3-4 மணி வரை யார் நல்ல ஆழ்ந்த தூக்கம் தூங்குறாங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு எந்த நோயும் வராது. ஸோ பிளட் ஆட்டோ டயாலிசிஸ் ப்ராசஸ் இதுல உணவின் 10 மணிக்கு தூங்க போனோம்னா நீங்க 7 மணிக்கு நிச்சயமாக சாப்பிட்டுருக்கும், உணவு முறையை முடிச்சிருக்கும். 3 மணி நேரம் இடைவேளைக்கு பிறகு தூக்கம் இருந்தா ஆழ்ந்த தூக்கம் வந்து லிவர் தன் எனர்ஜியை முழுமையா பயன்படுத்தும். இந்த இடத்துல தான் நம்ம லிவர் எனர்ஜியை பயன்படுத்த தவறிட்டோம். அதனாலதான் ஆட்டோ இம்யூன் சிஸ்டம் நமக்கு முழுமையா லாஸ் ஆச்சு. ஸோ இப்ப இதுக்கு மறுபடியும் மருந்துகளை கொடுத்து குணப்படுத்த முடியுமான்னா எந்த காலகட்டத்திலும் மருந்தை எடுத்துட்டு உடம்பு குணப்படுத்தாது. இன்னொன்று, உணவு வந்து மருந்தானால் உடல் மருத்துவர் ஆயிடும். அப்ப அந்த உணவுக்கு ரொம்ப முக்கியம் அல்கலைன் உணவுகள். இந்த அல்கலைன் உணவுகளை தான் நம்ம பாரம்பரியத்துல வரகு, திணை, சாமை, குதிரைவாளி போன்ற அற்புதமான உணவுகளை பயன்படுத்த ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க.
We can now see that almost every ancient Indian tradition has a scientific explanation behind it. Some of them are deeply spiritual, very much beyond the understanding of the common man, because of which they were linked to the concept of blind belief. After years of experience and observation, our forefathers have drafted these traditions to be imbibed into societal living and lifestyles to ensure a healthy, peaceful living. So let's start looking deeper. Let's start truly appreciating the riches we have been provided with. Let us look at our customs with positive curiosity. After all, isn't it our duty as the future generation to carry them forward?
Now, class, I think leaving the Tamil part which he was speaking, I don't think so. We could have actually got anything much better than this to show you and tell you when we are going to finish with our class today, that how rich our culture has been and how much logics and science is associated behind each and every custom of ours. This she has told you all about the temples, the reason for following all these rituals, whether it is giving bath to the idol, whether it is the ringing of the bell, going barefoot inside the temple. All these things have science. And you know what? Even like I might have discussed with you, the accessories worn by the women, right from applying of a bindi to the applying of the vermilion, that is a sindoor, everything has got a science with it. When you happen to apply bindi, you happen to touch that part of your body which again circulates the entire flow of the blood. Why did women, had actually been associated with so much of accessory? Because in the past it was made clear that a woman is supposed to stay in the home. As a result, her laborious works were very, very less. She was giving birth to the baby, she was taking care of the house, fulfilling all her role inside her home only. But on the other hand, a man was going out, he was working, he had all sort of exercises. So most of the medical problems were associated with the women part. So then we had all this system coming up, wearing of bangles, wearing of anklets. When you wear the bangle, the sound which is produced from the bangles and the anklet, that actually again, oozes up your circulation of blood inside the body. With a continuous touching of the bangles and the anklets with your body, again stimulates the flow of the blood. Wearing of the toe ring. You might have seen newly married and the women, even after marriage, after a lot of years, they wear toe ring. And that, again, the toe ring is worn in a special finger, or a special toe, which is actually directly connected with the nerve of the brain. And that too for silver, because silver is actually supposed to be, believed it's a very good conductor of absorbing energy. So this is the reason silver is worn. You might have seen people wearing, in spite of having so much of money, people prefer wearing anklets made out of silver, wearing, toe rings out of, all the silver. And the reason is this: everything which touches the body is going to have some other significance. The same is with the colors. The red color, the pink color, the orange color, these are the colors which are supposed to be very good colors which absorb energy. That is the reason these are the colors of the vermilion or the sindoor. A lady applies sindoor of red color, of orange, of pink, and these three main colors inside her head. When this vermilion and this color touches the head, it goes, and you might have seen women applying sindoor in the partition of her hair. It touches your head. It gives coolness, calmness to the entire body. Are you understanding? Everything has something. This is India, land of diversity, land of so much. You know, even we talk about the temples, every temple, almost every temple of India leaves you with a mystery, with a question mark. How could these people create such wonderful things? Why do we have so much variety in speaking, in celebrating, in eating? Why in wearing of clothes? In the handicraft, why alone in India, if you are there, you can actually have accessibility to each and everything. People who come inside your country, especially the foreigners, they come to see this diversity because this is only available in our country. Indian tourism is one of the most profitable industry in the entire world. We entertain lakhs and lakhs of tourists every month. I'm talking every month. You talk about Golden Temple, which is visited by more than 1 lakh people in one day, single day. Golden Temple. We talk about Ajmer Sharif, the Dargah of Khwaja Muhyiddin Chishti in Rajasthan. It is a home to devotees from all over the world. Every single day, the number of devotees crosses 50,000 there. You are Hindu, you are a Sikh, people go there because they have a lot of belief. You talk about Shirdi, you talk about Tirupati, another massive temple. And then there are every temple of, south, north has a history to tell us. Sun Temple. If you happen to know the history of Sun Temple, till date, all over the world, engineers actually, they are puzzled to actually see how this temple was constructed with so much of mathematical precision. This is only place in the entire world which gets up illuminated all at once with the first rays of the sun. The temple has been made with such mathematical precision that early morning hours, people just come here not for devotion, just to come to see this magic. The temple, the huge massive structure has been made in such a way, the first rays of the sun illuminates the entire temple as a whole. How could this have been possible? How could these people create such wonders? How did they make such beautiful carvings? And if you go in the past, you get an answer to all this variety of cultures and its elements here, which are presented in the form of so many different things. So, class, please, I request all of you every single second minute, your soul, be proud to be an Indian. Take it as a responsibility to serve and carry on this culture to our future generations. Right? We end up with this unit expecting all of you to complete the activity which I've given you, simple activity. Fine class, stay happy, be safe. Bye everyone.